Hi, everybody. Okay, so here's a deep dive on Liam Spencer that I promised. Now, before I start, I have to say what I always say, which is, well, two things. I always separate the character from the actor because I love Scott Clifton. I've seen a lot of his work, so I love him. But I don't like the character of Liam Spencer, and there are several reasons why. And also, the second thing I don't always say, but all the stuff I say in the videos is my own opinion. It is not meant to offend anybody. It is not meant to do any of that. Okay? Okay. Let's dive in. So, Liam Spencer, in true sub character fashion, came to town with a Who's the Daddy storyline mystery. Um, he found out that Bill Spencer was his father. Um, I've heard said from Liam that they found out on Kelly's deathbed. So, that tells you how much of a secret she wanted to keep this. Okay, so there's that. You could say because of that, he felt unwanted. He didn't feel whole because he didn't know who his father was. And you could further say that because he's a man, that he needs the father's input even more than a daughter might. Not that daughters don't need the father's input either, but it's just that a mother can only do so much, and then you need a fatherly presence. Okay? So that's the beginning. And then shortly after his arrival in LA, Hope and he fell for each other pretty hard. But Stephanie Forrester always had her sights on him. And I guess because she is a Forrester, she's used to getting what she wants or something. Okay. So, and so she got him to like her or be interested in her. Now, before Hope and Liam were able to get married, he had a relationship with Steffi, and they have been intimate and everything else. And then the wedding with Hope didn't go off without a hitch because somehow Bill, using his money and influence, I'm assuming, was able to get Deacon, Hope's father, out of prison. And so they could have a relationship. Um, so there's that. And then from Bill's mouth this week, when before Liam had the fall, you know, he said, "What do you want from me? I found out that you were in town. I took you under my wing. I gave you a job. I gave you everything. And now you don't appreciate it? What else do you want?" But Liam's side is, "I just wanted a father. I wanted you to be there. Like, just be there and be proud of what I did and be proud of what I do and say that I do give something to the company and that I do something, and don't ride on the fact that you gave me everything." I think that's where the divide happens. And also, and I covered this a little bit, but I do think that Bill uses his money and whatever power, influence to get what he wants. And so, uh, if he has a problem, he just uses his money and then things happen, you know? But most people aren't like that. They want somebody there. They want a dad to show up. But also that helped me learning all this stuff about Liam helped me find out about names and stuff because okay, he has two daughters, Beth and Kelly. So obviously Kelly was named after his mother. And I think Beth was named after Hope, someone in Hope's family too. So yeah, okay. Now, as far as the relationship thing goes, I have a theory, and it's just a theory here, okay? Um, but if if a man is between like choosing between two women, the woman he decides to marry and be with is the woman he really loves. Because if he doesn't really love you, then he doesn't want the commitment. And he'll tell you all this stuff about, I don't like labels. I don't see the need for labels, you know. But if a guy is into you, and I would think it's the same way for women too. So, saying for a guy, if a woman loves you and wants to be with you, she has no problem giving you labels. And the idea of commitment doesn't frighten her. So that's my theory on that. And going further with that theory, he's married Steffi, I don't know, at least twice, maybe three times. Because there was one wedding where she was all in black, and then there was another one somewhere else, and then there was maybe one in Australia. So that's three. But the point is, they got married once, and everything was legal and legit. Okay? So he loves Steffi. He may think he loves Hope as a friend or whatever, but he doesn't love her because he's willing to cheat on Hope, whereas he wouldn't cheat on Steffi. That's another part of my theory. So, yeah. And also, this ties into today. Okay? Um, the way Steffi was looking at Liam is the way you look at somebody you're in love with and or your husband. Like, I'd say, you know how, okay, most of my audience is women. So you'll be able to relate to this. Have you ever been in a stage where you're with a guy and say that you're not quite engaged, but you've been boyfriend, girlfriend for a long time, and it's kind of a foregone conclusion that you're going to get married? You start looking at each other like that. And then when you get engaged, you look at each other like that. And my thing is, there's a look that you give to somebody like that you don't give to anybody else. Where it was like, okay, the best way I can describe it besides that is it's like you can look at the guy if you're a girl. You can look at the guy and there's like nobody else in the room. You don't see anybody else. You don't hear anybody else. Nothing. It's like you're in your own world. Okay. He has that with Steffi, and Steffi has it with him. Case in point, um, Finn came in the room, and I swear, for about 30 to 60 seconds, nobody noticed at all. It was like, oh, you're here? And it was like, yeah, he's your husband, Steffi. You told him to come down or up, whatever the situation is. So, yeah, he's there. So, yeah, I say Liam is going to break up Steffi and Finn's marriage. And the reason I say that is because of that look, number one. Number two, a close second, they've been through a lot of stuff lately. And I don't care what kind of relationship you have, a relationship can only take so much strain and then it breaks. So that's my analysis on Liam Spencer and the whole thing. Now we have to see if any of the predictions I kind of made come to fruition here. But yeah. All right. Bye, guys.